My name is Claude from Domain Cabinets Direct. I'm trying to show you today how to assemble a frameless cabinet based Lazy Susan. The based Lazy Susan cabinet, it's a little bit more complicated cabinet than the original base cabinet you can see here. You might need a friend to help you out. Let's see if we can do it by ourselves without any friends. So this is one of the sides of the cabinet of the Lazy Susan. We're going to take it, we're going to lay it flat on the clean surface, and we're going to take the dovetails, the dowels, and we're going to insert it on the pre-drill holes. So I'll be here and here. You can use a mallet just to tap them in. Okay. Then the next step is to take the bottom of the Lazy Susan. The bottom of the Lazy Susan, which is this one over here. It's an L-shaped piece. Now, how you identify which side is which? This L-shaped part here, it goes for the doors. This one is one side of the Lazy Susan, the second side of the Lazy Susan. This is the back of the Lazy Susan, the other back of the Lazy Susan, and then all the bottom of the Lazy Susan has a groove where a 1/4 inch panel will be slided in at 45 degrees. Now, once this one is done, we have to make sure that we match this L shape with a cut for the toe kick. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the piece, flip it over, put it down, rest it in, and then we're going to try to go ahead and put it into the dowel and match it to the pre-drill hole that we already had. So go ahead. Here. Okay, once we put it in, we're going to take 3 2-inch screws. We're going to flip this whole cabinet on one side. Okay, flip it over. This, and then we're going to go ahead and insert the screws in the existing little hole. So there are 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. And what we're going to do, we're going to take an impact gun. Go ahead and then just for you guys to see better, I'm going to twist it this way. You guys see exactly the holes I'm talking about. This is the second one, and this is the third one. Okay, so now I have part of the Lazy Susan that is already fixed. So it looks exactly like this. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take one part, which is the back of the cabinet. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead, as you can see here, this 45 groove. Going to match the groove from the bottom of the cabinet. And how we're going to deal with it, we're going to go ahead, take another dowel, insert it on the back panel right here, and then we'll try to have this one on. I'm going to flip it over for you so you can see. Alright, then we're going to take 3 screws 2-inch for the bottom and 3 screws 2-inch for the side of the cabinet. What we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead bottom. And go ahead and put the one in the middle. Alright. Now we're going to concentrate on the three screws around the bottom of it. So now the cabinet looks exactly like this. What's the next step? Is to take the other piece, which is the other back side of it, of the cabinet, and try to put it right here. How we're gonna do that? We're gonna take the two towels and set them for support. Go ahead. Go ahead and raise the bottom panel. This is the pretty little hose. Okay. We're gonna take another 3 screws for the bottom piece. Now, this is going to start taking shape, as you guys can see. We're going to wait on the last side after we put the rollout trays. Now, we're going to go ahead and try to put the 1/4 inch panel. The 1/4 inch panel is just going to slide in. Just have to make sure we take a mallet. Make sure that becoming embedded into these back panels. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and move the cabinet a little backwards. Okay. And I'm going to bring around the box where we have the turntables. As you guys can see, the turntables have an attached piece already on it, which is a metal piece. We're going to take one of them and we're going to move it around. So what I suggest, before you put it in, we have to make sure that this one's moved. Okay, we're going to fit it inside right here to assemble it first. What I usually recommend to be done is to put it down, make sure that nothing touches when you move it around. We have the second one right here, which is going to go on the shelf on the second part of it. Meantime, we're just going to rest it over here. Okay. move that off the way. Alright. So now, that's the way it stays. I recommend for you guys to go ahead and put a little bit of pressure on the turntable in order to move and to find out exactly where the screws go. So what I do, I keep pressing on it and keep moving it. Make sure I make a full turn and doesn't go anywhere. Okay, now once this one is set, what I usually do, I pick it up and I take the back piece, which is the metal piece, and I'll put it exactly 45 degrees this way. Because once we're going to screw it into the bottom panel, you don't want to see the screw heads on this L-shaped part. So I will take it one more time, I will set it down, make sure it's equidistant from every part of the cabinet. Then I go ahead and I pick up 4 of these half-inch screws, looks like this. It's a Phillips half moon head. I will position my turntable, I will press pressure on it, and once I have the pressure on it, okay, everything is good, I will find the first metal for the metal hole and go and insert my screw. I will still keep the pressure on it and move it to the second one. The screw in, still keeping the pressure on the turntable. Now I do the same thing, the third one. I will apply the pressure on the turntable, and then once the third screw is in, it's no need anymore for pressure, you just go for the fourth hole, and what you're going to do is go ahead and attach the fourth screw. And here is how your turntable is already set. Okay, then the next step, which is a very important step of it, is to put this second shelf where we're going to put a second lazy Susan turntable. So what we're going to do, we're going to take these metal pins and go ahead and mount all of them. I usually put them at the mid-range. And when I say mid-range, these ones are already pre-drilled, so I have 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then it has 1, 2, 3 and 4. The fourth hole is pretty much like a mid-range. So I would use my mallet to insert the pin in. Has to be very nice and tight. Follow the same idea here. You put it in the fourth hole. On the side of it, one, and the other side here. Another one. Now we go ahead and pick up the other side of the cabinet. We insert the pins on the fourth pinhole up, so to match the rest of them. We take 2 dowels, we put them on the bottom of the panel right here. And then we take another 2 dowels, put them right here. And then with all this, we try to insert the last side of the cabinet. Now as you can see here, all of it is done, all the pins are in. We go ahead and take 6 screws, you see them right here, and take 3 of them, put them on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, and the side of it. I usually, the last one, I don't put it all the way in. I leave it a little bit, or for the reason we can take it out, because we're going to need a little bit of flexibility when we're going to put the top panel of the Lazy Susan in. So now that's how your Lazy Susan look like. We're going to go ahead and take the shelf of the Lazy Susan. As you can see here, the bottom part of the shelf have routed inset holes for the pins themselves. So what you're going to do, you're going to go ahead from the top and drop it down. Stuff is all set in properly. Okay. Right. And what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead we take the second turntable, and as I mentioned last time, make sure this one is diagonal on the corner. Everything is equidistant from the side and from the back. Take the other 3, 4 half-inch Phillips screws. Okay. So we follow the same procedure as the other one. Now, when you apply the pressure on the turntable itself, just make sure you don't go too hard on it, because only at this moment sit on the pins, so the structural resistance of it is a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and put our first screw in. Still apply the pressure. We'll reach the second. Pressure. Here's the third one. Once you reach the third screw in, you don't need to apply any more pressure, you just move the turntable. And now, do the last try. Nothing touches, so everything was done properly. Now, the last piece of the equation is to put the top part of it. What we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and insert these 2 here for the support of it. And if you remember, I told you that these ones you leave them a little bit without putting the screw, you leave a little bit loose, so we have the sort of flexibility of putting the panel in. This is where you're going to need most probably a friend, or you don't going to need a friend. See exactly how you prefer. I prefer to put the screws already into the pre-drill holes, so I don't have to run after them when the time comes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the 2-inch screws throughout the holes. For the time being. Okay. Now, this is the top panel. Okay, come like this. So what I'm intend to do right now, I have to put it first into the, go from here and put it into the 2 towels as a support. Insert it in. Okay. And once I insert it in, so I have the support on the back. I'll go ahead, pick up my gun. And the first things I do, make sure this is flush here, the corner. I put the 3rd screw as a support. I go ahead and I do the same thing here. I go on the opposite corner right here. Make sure I insert the whole cabinet in the tower. Same time you're going to need to get your mallet and just take the screw from right here, and then automatically will tighten up the top piece. Okay. Over here, make sure that this part is flush. So now we put all the screws around except to this part here. And then if you remember last time, we decided not to put one screw over here. Right now. So like that, make sure everything is under control now. The last thing we do, we want to look inside to see if everything is perfectly set, which is at this moment. And then there are a couple of more things that you have to do. The thing that you have to do, you have the 2 hinges, which are these 2 here. For the door for the Lazy Susan. Okay. The hinges come with 4 screws on each to adapt to the door and to adapt to the cabinet body itself. You just can open them like this. This part where the cup is, you're going to put in the door first, and then you're going to screw it to the 2 holes here. Same thing you're going to do with the other one. Now this hinges, they're going to go on the inside of the cabinet, and there are already pre-drilled the holes for you, one here, one here, one here, one here, depends where you want the door to open, either left or right. You go ahead after you put your door in and match the holes of the hinge with the holes of on the cabinet, the pre-drilled holes in the cabinet, and just put the 2 screws. And these hinges have 6-way adjustments. These 6-way adjustments, they go up and down, they go in and out, and they go left and right. So you can play with that based on your floors, based on your rest of the cabinets. Now for the purpose of this video, we're not going to put the doors up because we still have to put this lazy Susan into the wall. So if you guys have any other issue, don't forget to contact us via the email customerservice@domaincabinets.com. Thank you very much for